Let's take you to the heart of the global economy on Business Today with me, Mark Lobel. And let's start with some breaking news. The boss of the social media platform X, Linda Yaccarino, has said she would step down from her role. Yaccarino has been chief executive of the Elon Musk-owned platform for 2 years. The news comes just a day after the company's Grok chatbot drew complaints from its users that it produced anti-Semitic content. Yaccarino's tenure including rebranding X into an everything app and restoring advertising revenue, as well as content moderation policies. Well, let's go live now to Michelle Fleury in New York. Michelle, how surprising is this news, and what more do we know about the timing, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's been an interesting time watching Linda Yaccarino in this post. Remember, she was hired and brought in by Elon Musk to try and rebuild the relationship with advertisers, which had sort of got into quite a difficult situation under his ownership of the social media platform. And in some ways, because of her kind of mercurial boss, she faced quite an uphill challenge in this. At the time, he was involved in quite a confrontational attitude with advertisers, telling them he wasn't fussed about them. And so people have wondered at times whether she would stay as long as she has. But that being said, people were still caught by surprise today. And because she doesn't give a reason for why she's stepping down, I think there is lots of speculation. Was she pushed? Did she leave of her own choice? And then you throw into that the kind of AI chatbot gone rogue, and people wondering whether or not that was the final straw, because obviously having a chatbot that spews hate speech doesn't help when you're trying to get advertisers to kind of spend money on your site. But she has had notable successes over the years in terms of kind of building out platforms and trying to fulfill Elon Musk's vision of turning this into an everything platform. There's some new initiative to allow payments to be made. That's being rolled out later this year. And of course, there's a deal with kind of trying up with TV streaming. So she leaves with a mixed record. And again, there was a tweet in response from Elon Musk who thanked her for her contributions.
Michelle, speaking of AI and the other big news, a certain multi-trillion-dollar chip-making company, why have we seen a rebound in tech stocks over the past few months?
Look, I mean, there is no doubt that NVIDIA is the undisputed king when it comes to this kind of new gold rush of generative AI. It is the leader of the pack, and this kind of cements that, if it needed cementing at all. I mean, just think back. It was only a couple of years ago it reached that sort of $1 trillion mark. That a while ago seemed very exotic and sort of, a kind of unattainable level. Then within a matter of a couple of years, it had reached 3 trillion. I think Apple was the first company to do that as a market cap. And now it's hit this $4 trillion mark, followed only in market cap by Microsoft. And I think what those two companies have in common is that they are sort of front of the way when it comes to kind of this next wave in the AI revolution. That's what's being rewarded. The significance of that is that, this is a company that has a weighting of about 7% of the S&P 500. That's the main stock index here in America. And part of the sort of question that's bubbling around Wall Street is how much has the strong performance of the stock market lately actually been driven by just a handful of these kind of big-name tech companies. And I think this will only fuel that conversation further.
Michelle, thank you for that on NVIDIA. Certainly the one to watch. We'll